So we're in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a faucet and a garbage disposal for the homeowner. The faucet was supplied by the homeowner. We just did the installation, and of course the garbage disposal as well. It's a Badger 15, so it's a 3/4 horsepower. I think they probably got that out of Lowe's. The only thing he didn't pick up was a line cord for that, so they're picking that up right now, and if they can get out to us, we'll go ahead and drop that disposal back down and get it hooked up, get it plugged in so it will function correctly. Faucet, we've never heard of it before. It's a Agua Stella. Not sure where they got this, but it mounts pretty nice. It's got one big mounting nut on the bottom, and everything slides through. You tighten it down, and it's good. So nice mounting system, high arc, pull down sprayer. Underneath, there's a little bit of a conflict between the hot and cold water shutoff valves. Actually, just the hot valve, you can see that's where the weight sits. So we could drop the weight down substantially here, which would give you more pull out on the sprayer. You can see it only comes out this far right now. If we drop it down, though, every time that you pull it out, it bumps against the shutoff valve. And then as it comes back in, it gets stuck underneath the shutoff valve. So just a conflict with piping down there. There's nothing that we can do about that. Normally when we rough things in at top out framing stage, we go ahead and get the waters out of the way because most faucets are going to have a sprayer on it. So anyways, that's in. If you want to adjust that, it's just 2 screws, 1 on each side, and you can drop it down wherever you want to. But keep in mind, it's going to hang up and bump against this shutoff valve right here. We did give you a braided stainless steel supply line with a cap and nipple on the bottom coming out for the dishwasher. The reason being is you want to be able to use hot and cold water here while you're waiting for your dishwasher to get installed. Additionally, it was dripping out of there anyways. Even with this valve shut all the way off, you had water still flowing out of that one port for the dishwasher, so it needs to be capped off. Big bucket of water was down here when we got here, and the whole bottom was flooded with water, and you can see you've got damage to the cabinet. I would get this replaced. That's particle board down there, so all that water sitting there, you may start to get mold in there. So I just have a cabinet guy come in here and cut that out, get you a new bottom on there, and you have it done with. The garbage disposal side, went ahead and got the new flange in and got it mounted up. It's just hand tight right now. It's not tight all the way down because we had to drop it to put the cord back on. We used the discharge 90 that came with the disposal, a little trap, it's extension, and then the P-trap, tubular P-trap back over to the adapter in the wall. That is existing. The PVC piping coming out of the wall and the trap adapter, that is specific to the home. As you can see, the clean out down there, it's PVC. We went to a plastic PVC tubing as well. It's just a different color. And so everything comes apart. You got a nut here, a nut both sides of the trap, a nut at the extension, and then of course you had a couple screws right there for disassembly. This is in place right now. All it is, it's a galvanized cap and nipple with a hose clamp, and then it's clamped over to the discharge for where the dishwasher drain is going to hook up. The reason why we got that capped off in that way is because when you run water down here, it's going to leak out of there. Not a lot, but enough to where it will continue to flood this cabinet area. So it's capped off. When your dishwasher guy gets here to install, all he needs to do is just take this one hose clamp, this one right here, take it off, pull the whole assembly off, put the new line on, tighten it down, and he's good to go. So we've tested it already, hot and cold running water. We blew it out first, pulled the aerator out, and blew a lot of water through there. We ran it to make sure that nothing's leaking down here, so everything looks good. We're not going to take another video when we get done completed, because we're just going to wait for the line cord to show up. We'll install that, drop this one more time, install the line cord, put it back together, plug it in, test it out, make sure it works. But outside of that, this installation is done. So one more little part of the video here. We just got the pigtail installed and got it plugged in. Switches over there on the wall, so it's running correctly. And homeowner brought that to us, so we got it installed for him. So that's functioning correctly. Just wanted to get a document of that to show that we finished the work here. And then there's your little stopper. Just leave that there on the counter for you. The tool for, in case it gets jammed, is sitting here in this drawer next to the stove. And then we did want to show you those existing shutoff valves. Those aren't ours. Back here, but we didn't want to show you that they're not leaking currently. Those, we don't like the multi-turn valves because it's plastic stem, and then it's got a plastic packing nut in there, and typically they start leaking. Well, these are both dry. So you got the hot one right there, nothing dripping on that one, and then let's see if I can get you a picture of the cold. Hopefully, yep. So Cold's not dripping, so that's good. Just monitor this area. You already have damage down here, so there's nothing really you can do about that. But monitor the piping. So the points of connection are going to be here on the hot side. Then, of course, actually, this is going to come back off. That's your dish. That's going to be your dishwasher. But you will have to monitor that once they hook it up. Make sure that you don't get any dripping out of here. The far side, which is the hot connection, and let me see, which is right here. There. So monitor that. Just make sure you don't get any weeping out of there. Even a hint of moisture out of this. You want to let us know. We'll come out and tighten it up. But right now everything's dry. This is hot water, so once you start running a lot of hot water through there, it might loosen up a little bit. But typically it's fine. But it's just a good idea to monitor your plumbing, not just kitchen, not just the stuff we worked on, but all of your plumbing. And then of course this guy right here, that guy, that's the cold side. Let's see if I can get a good light in there. So monitor that as well. No light. There you go. So this in here, I just like to put my finger around here, and feel it, and then take a look at my finger. And if it's bone dry, that means there's no leaking. And so we're not talking about spraying, dripping, just weeping. Anything that will show you just a glisten. When you put your finger there, if it's like a glisten of water, you need to get after it. So currently nothing's leaking. And then you got a point of connection up here as well. Hopefully I won't flip my camera around, but right up here, and this is for the faucet. This is where the hose connects to the faucet assembly that goes through this sleeve, and so that's tied in. There's a rubber gasket there. You want to make sure that nothing begins to drip or roll down this hose as well. Right now it's dry, so everything's good. And just monitor it. All of your plumbing in your home, your water heater, all your sinks, showers, stuff like that, because once water gets away from you, it causes damage. As you can see in the sink area, this guy is pretty damaged, so it's all sunken in, and you'll have to get someone out here. It's hard to tell, but that's caved in. It just had a lot of water down there, so you have to get a repair there. So anyways, everything's capped off. Everything's working correctly. Outside of that, this installation is done.